This is Discover You Radio's Discussions, where we are going into a deep dive about Andrew Neil. I'm Robert Simmons, and I'll be one of your co-hosts today. Really looking forward to intellectually exploring the compelling narrative, the, remarkable artistic evolution we've seen in the sources about this musician. He's truly unique.
And I'm Rita Fox, your other co-host. I'm here, ready to synthesize all this multifaceted information and maybe illuminate its broader significance. Andrew Neil's story.
It's just such a fascinating blend, isn't it? Profound personal struggle and this undeniable artistic triumph. I'm particularly keen to unpack how his lived experiences have so powerfully shaped such compelling music. Right, so our mission today, essentially, is to delve into Andrew Neil's journey. He's really seen as this extraordinary outsider music artist, celebrated for, profound resilience and his intensely creative output, especially his album Freak. And you'll discover how his life's path, which was marked by, immense challenges, didn't just influence his art, it really became the crucible it was forged in. And that led to some surprising recognition within the music industry, too. It's quite a narrative about transforming adversity, really, into this unparalleled creative force.
Yeah, what's really fascinating, I think, is how his artistic journey begins. It's not, the usual music lessons or some deliberate career path. It actually starts with a pivotal, life-altering event. He started out, from what we gather, as a seemingly typical kid in Virginia, even a high school athlete. But then everything changed, dramatically, in the spring of 2009.
And what happened then really set the stage for this unique trajectory he's been on. He was in a car accident, a serious one, left him with a significant head injury. And here's where it gets really intriguing, right? The injury had this dual impact, completely unexpected. On one hand, tragically, it triggered the onset of psychotic episodes. But on the other hand, almost miraculously, it just spontaneously ignited his ability to write songs. Even though, and this is key, he'd had absolutely no prior musical training, none whatsoever. Does that fact, that it came from trauma, not training, does it show up differently in the music? Like a raw quality, maybe?
Oh, that's an excellent point, and I think it absolutely does. This almost involuntary creation process, right? Untethered from formal rules or structure. It just lends this profound, unfiltered honesty, especially to his early work. It's creativity driven by, sheer internal necessity, an emotional outpouring, really, not some academic exercise. And this newfound ability, it actually became critical later. In 2013, a severe psychotic episode led to a truly tragic event. He stabbed his younger brother, which resulted, understandably, in a 7-month jail sentence.
A deeply dark period, no doubt, but one that quite unexpectedly served as a crucial turning point. The sources indicate his family, his attorney, they intervened powerfully. They convinced the prosecutor that Andrew's primary need wasn't just incarceration, it was help. Actual help. So his sentence was changed. Not guilty by reason of insanity, which led to his release from jail and then a 3-year stay in a state mental hospital. It's hard to even imagine something so devastating leading to such a profound creative, awakening. Reading the sources, I kept thinking, how do you even begin to process that, let alone create through it?
And this, remarkably, became a period of immense personal growth and artistic productivity for him. It's quite something. The sources highlight that he received excellent treatment there, learned to manage his illness, which is, of course, crucial. But alongside that, it just transformed into this incredibly prolific period for his music. During those 3 years in the hospital, he wrote and recorded roughly 70 songs, and that's adding to the, over 250 songs he'd already written before he was hospitalized.
Wow.
To date, he's got this incredible output, over 400 songs.
Over 400 songs. That is an astonishing volume of work, especially considering the circumstances. And his process itself sounds quite unique, too, which contributes to that raw, authentic sound you mentioned. Writing entirely by ear, crafting melodies on a rhythm guitar, then recording them on just a simple battery-powered Tascam recorder. And his father, Ray, would then upload them to their home computer. That kind of accessible, almost lo-fi recording method, it seems to fit perfectly with his outsider status, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, yeah. If we connect this to that broader idea of an outsider artist, it means his creative process is often deeply personal, unconventional, existing outside the typical music industry structures or academic training. It makes his art uniquely raw, authentic. And his debut album, Code Purple Andrew Neil, released in 2017, it directly reflects this whole foundational period.
Yes, exactly. So he gets his conditional release from the hospital, May 2017, moves into a group home. And his main motivation for this debut album was, deeply personal. He explicitly hoped his songs might offer some solace, maybe assistance, to others grappling with similar mental health issues.
And the album, Code Purple, it featured 11 songs right from his time in the hospital. It's described as very raw, very lo-fi. It largely kept that stripped-down quality of his original recordings, though interestingly, it was mastered by the acclaimed Lotto Meller.
Oh, wow.
But what really resonates, I think, is the album artwork. It was created by his brother Kyle.
His brother Kyle.
The very brother he had stabbed years earlier. I mean, that detail just speaks volumes about healing, doesn't it? Reconciliation, the power of forgiveness within his family.
It really paints a truly poignant picture.
Yeah.
Incredible. Then, in 2018, Andrew takes another significant step forward. His sophomore effort, Merry-Go-Round. And for the first time, he actually enters a professional studio, which allowed him to collaborate, with accomplished musicians. People like producer Andy Waldeck, who also played bass and guitar,
Yeah.
Nathan Brown on drums, Gina Sobel on flute, Jack Sheehan on sax for one track.
And this marked a really distinct evolution in his sound. While Code Purple was more, say, folk-oriented and stark, Merry-Go-Round showcased a much more polished, fuller sound. It leaned unmistakably towards an alt-rock vibe, which demonstrated not just his adaptability, but also, I think, a willingness to explore different musical textures, while still keeping that core, unvarnished honesty of his songwriting.
Okay, let's unpack this next chapter, because this is where Andrew Neil's resilience, it feels like, truly reaches its peak. June 2019. He's literally wrapping up recording his third album, Freak, and he faces yet another monumental challenge. Just unbelievable. A diagnosis of lymphoma. What does the source material tell us about how that impacted finishing the album? And what does that reveal about, well, the human capacity to create under such intense pressure?
I mean, it's almost unbelievable. The sources state flat out that Andrew recorded most of the final vocals for Freak while he was undergoing intensive chemotherapy, laying down tracks in between grueling treatments. That level of dedication, especially when battling something so serious, it's just astounding. It really speaks to music as not just an outlet, but maybe a lifeline for him,
Absolutely.
And to help with the production, the marketing, his family launched a Kickstarter campaign. It was successful too, which just illustrates the incredible community support that rallied around him.
That's an inspiring testament to his spirit and to the power of that community. So Freak was digitally streamed October 15th, 2019. Also available on CD, vinyl later. The album reunited him with key collaborators like Andy Waldeck on bass, Nathan Brown on drums, but it also brought in new talent. Maddie Metcalf on lead guitar, baritone electric guitar, and marxophone, we should talk about that instrument. Nick Birkin on piano. His father, Ray, even contributed acoustic guitar and backing vocals on a couple of tracks. And once again, his brother Kyle created the artwork, that arresting painting, as the source calls it, for the cover, designed by Daniel Benayan.
Yeah, the album itself is incredibly ambitious, 14 unique tracks, delving into themes of love, faith, mental illness, self-identity. It's a real tapestry of his experiences. We should probably dive into some of these tracks, right? Because they vividly showcase his imaginative songwriting and, honestly, the surprising breadth of his musical vision. The title track, Freak, it's just marvelous. It immediately struck me. Very strong Red Hot Chili Peppers vibe, don't you think?
Oh, definitely.
Andrew's vocals, they're unusual, quirky. They actually evoke Anthony Kiedis for me.
I absolutely hear that. And the intricate guitar work on Freak is superb. Those funky psychedelic grooves are just infectious. And the lyrics on that track, so powerful. Transform the idea of being a freak into like a badge of honor, embracing uniqueness. His delivery, too, almost spoken word sometimes, with that off-kilter rhythm. It somehow amplifies the message. That authenticity sings, in every way, every day of the week, I'm a freak, freak, freak. I got a feeling like a ceiling leak. And if I could, I probably would grow a beak, beak, beak. Can I say, I'm so unique, I'm a freak, freak, freak. It's a genuine anthem of self-acceptance. It really is.
It really is. Then you have something like Kentucky Whiskey, which is this languid, lovely song about, well, succumbing to temptation, Andrew's wistful tone, coupled with Maddie Metcalf's enchanting marxophone. You mentioned that instrument. For those listening, it's a unique string instrument played with hammers. Creates this distinctive bell-like, almost haunting tone. That combination crafts a truly captivating atmosphere. And the lyrics, goodbye, teacher, gonna learn rock and roll. Goodbye, preacher, I've already sold my soul. Pretty provocative, suggesting this conscious break from societal norms.
And then American Dream. It offers this poignant critique of the rat race. But it's the raw, almost conversational delivery that makes it so impactful. Andrew's candid lyrics, they really resonate. I'm living the American dream, but things aren't what they seem. I'm living the American dream, and it makes me want to scream, wake up and go to work. So my doctor gives me pills. They make me happy, so I pay my bills. What would I do without my wine? I mean, it's such an unflinching look at those societal pressures, the coping mechanisms so many people use.
Yeah. And moving through the album, you find just incredible emotional range. Overdose highlights his knack for really compelling, memorable melodies. It's got this wickedly seductive tune, fuzz-soaked driving riffs. Then there's All Over, a love song that surprisingly transitions from Andrew rapping to this upbeat pop rock duet with guest vocalist Savannah Weaver. Shows incredible stylistic versatility.
Wow.
And drum song shifts again. More optimistic Americana vibe. Rousing folk-lock guitars, lively piano, and that unique addition of an Appalachian dulcimer played by Roxanne McDaniel carries a beautiful message about kindness, collective love.
That diversity of sound, of theme, it's really impressive. 32 takes a more experimental kind of trippy turn. Great bluesy grooves, throbbing bass, reflecting on how fast life goes. And finally, Disappear, a bluesy, foot-stomper, country rock vibe. Seems to explore maybe the mind-controlling aspects of blind faith. It's clear he's not afraid to tackle complex themes head-on.
Definitely not. And what's genuinely fascinating here, despite all these deeply personal, often challenging themes, Andrew Neil's album, Freak, actually garnered significant industry recognition. Which brings us to something crucial. The album was submitted for Grammy consideration for the 63rd Annual Grammy Awards.
That's huge. And it's vital to highlight who was behind that submission, right? Because it really underscores the album's impact. It was Will Stenner, a respected member of the Recording Academy out of Los Angeles. And apparently, Mr. Stenner was genuinely taken by Andrew's story and the album itself.
Wow.
That's what compelled him to submit it in the Best Alternative Rock Album category. And this isn't just, a casual thing. This is Will Stenner, a name recognized within Academy circles. It's a powerful testament to the resonance of Andrew's artistry with seasoned industry professionals.
Indeed, it absolutely is. And while Freak wasn't ultimately nominated, the submission itself was a profound honor. It speaks volumes about the album's artistic merit, Andrew's compelling narrative, resonating deeply enough to even be considered at that level. It's not just about the nomination, really. It's about that acknowledgement of extraordinary talent, resilience, and just a singular artistic voice.
Absolutely. So looking ahead, Andrew's journey continues to evolve. He's now leading Andrew Neil in Code Purple, an electrifying alternative rock band described as on the rise, which kind of solidifies his presence, doesn't it? Not just solo, but as a frontman of a dynamic group, embracing that collaborative, band-driven approach.
Yeah, and the journey began pretty remarkably. A debut performance in Nashville, opening for the Raylan Nelson Band. That's Willie Nelson's granddaughter's band.
Wow, Nashville. That's a great start.
Yeah, a significant start, a great platform. They're anticipating releasing their debut album. February 2024 was the plan mentioned, signaling Andrew's continued artistic journey, his band's commitment to authenticity, and, a sound that keeps pushing boundaries.
So what does this all mean? For us as listeners taking this deep dive, Andrew Neil's journey is, well, truly extraordinary, isn't it? From overcoming these profound personal challenges, life-altering accident, mental illness, he's transformed himself into this celebrated outsider artist whose music just deeply connects with listeners. His resilience, his imaginative songwriting, that sincere musicality, it's simply breathtaking, really. A powerful reminder of the human spirit's capacity to transcend.
Yeah, his story really exemplifies that transformative power of art and the incredible capacity of the human spirit, to create beauty, create meaning right in the midst of intense adversity. It's such a powerful reminder that our struggles, no matter how profound they feel, can actually be transmuted into something compelling, inspiring, a beacon of hope, maybe, and connection for others.
Precisely. So, as you listening reflect on Andrew Neil's remarkable path and the music born from his deepest struggles, maybe consider this. How might embracing our own unique struggles, rather than shying away or seeing them just as impediments, how might that become a profound wellspring for authentic self-expression and maybe deeper connection in our own lives? We definitely encourage you to seek out Andrew Neil's music. Experience firsthand the myriad ways vulnerability can be transmuted into truly compelling artistry.